Give ear, O heavens and O earth, all those therein and thereof, and the Anunnaki. Brothers and sisters, and when I say brothers and sisters, I don't mean because we're of the same religious background. I don't say brothers and sisters because we're in the same gang. I'm not saying brothers and sisters because we're married together. I'm saying married and in a family circle. I'm saying brothers and sisters because we have the same skin and we have the same traumatic experience and we have the same father of our divine organization. The Organization of African American Unity, not incorporated, but started by Malcolm X Shabazz. And that Afro-American Organization for Unity is not being utilized correctly. Take a look. Just go there to Facebook, take a look at the Organization for Afro-American Unity Incorporated, and then go look at the Organization of Afro-American Unity Unincorporated online. The one on incorporation, there's a picture of Malcolm, but view all the people around him. And it's that same concept that we use as descendants of the slaves, ex-slaves, the children of slaves, ex-slaves, the nation of Israel, the tribe of Judah. That same situation of loyalty is what's got us here right now. We can go to Africa, we can go to China, we can go to Australia, we can go to Russia, we can go anywhere in the world, we can go to Mars, but when we come back to Earth, to our home, to our nation, amongst the international communities, we are still the black man and the black woman who has been enslaved, robbed. And a good example of that slaving and that robbing, another good example of that, let's face it, Lious Farrakhan, head of the Nation of Islam, which they're not a nation, that's an organization. We are the nation. We are the people. We are the spirit. We are the blood. We are the breath. We are the air. That's what Malcolm X was talking about. But you have this type of organization who leads the descendants of the slaves, the ex-slaves, into the den of the international wolves. Because there's not one culture, not one race, not one religion who didn't profit from the dreadful infliction and robbery that we've been through. And that example I was talking about is Dr. Betty Shabazz, the wife, the mother of all mothers, wife of Malcolm X. Now let's face it, the Nation of Islam, Lious Farrakhan, they must owe that family, just in the general, thinking in the general perspective in which this is a divine message, because actually it came from the Most High, 500 million would just be the first payment owed to the heirs of Malcolm X and to the heirs of Betty Shabazz. She was robbed. She was robbed the day that members of the Organization of Islam gunned them down, to African Unity Organization, as well as Malcolm X establishing, everybody know it, at least 70%, a greater increase when Malcolm was at the helm. So, for all the frustration, all the suffering, all the duress that all of his daughters had to endure, the $500 million is just a start payment, which is owed to that family. Far more than that, but $500 million is where they should start. Yup. The Nation of Islam owes, it must be in the billions, but for sure, $500 million, Lious Farrakhan should cut a check to the descendants of Malcolm X for his intellectual properties and for his work. Because Malcolm X himself said, hey, listen, this is a criminal organization. I didn't know that. I feel partially responsible for developing this criminal organization. So it's not a church. It's not a religious institution. It's not a spiritual institution abiding by the U.S. Constitution. It is a criminal organization by the activities that has been expressed that this operation has done in time. Think about it. Divine message.